Welcome to the Resilient AF podcast. I'm Alex Fresh.
And I'm BennettKnows. We believe everything vibrates at a certain frequency, and we're here to raise the vibration.
You'll hear stories of resilience, manifestation, and what to do when you find that even resilience has a toll.
Because a bitch is tired, honey. Move to your right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Perfect. Nobody is perfect. Okay, welcome
To the podcast.
to the podcast.
Yeah.
Your glasses are dope. Where'd those come from?
I had them in my back pocket because I am just tired as fuck.
Okay.
So, we got the cameras going. Go check us out on YouTube.
Yes.
At Resilient AF3. I definitely have my glasses on because I just look tired. I feel like
You're high.
that too.
But that's why you look tired, because before you didn't.
Well, listen, I am fucking tired,
Yeah,
okay? And I am
I'm
high,
sure
too.
you are, both.
Both.
You work overnight, so I'm sure you're tired.
That's why I have the shades on right now.
You look good, though.
Thank you.
Bomb, actually. Those shades are fucking bomb.
Thank
Anyhow.
you so much.
Yeah.
Shout out to Boohoo Man.
Okay. Boohoo. That is weird that you say that. I deleted that app today.
Why?
Boohoo Man.
Oh, yeah. Moving on. In all
Moving
ways,
on.
In every way.
What's up with you with your pick and pit for the week?
We just
What's good?
right in.
What's bad? What's good? What's good? What's bad?
So my peak is, it's been like super beautiful out. I ended up going to the park, just chilling, which was really, really nice. The peak is my dumbass. I left my cell phone at the park.
What?
And then I got home and I'm like, where's my cell phone? Yeah.
How did you even get home without
I
realizing?
know, right? So I went back to the park and it was right there on the bench where I left it.
Good.
And it always just feels good to know that there's good people around that aren't just gonna take shit that isn't theirs.
But there's Find My iPhone.
Yeah, that's how I found the phone at the park.
Yeah, so most people aren't going to take an iPhone.
But can't you
anymore.
take the iPhone and break it or take the SIM
You can
card
turn it
out?
off, I guess.
And then you can't find the iPhone. Or you could disconnect your iCloud and just put somebody else's on there, right?
Yeah, but you can't get in though to the iPhone because it's locked. If they turn it on, that they can see where the IMEI is. They can track it, what phone number is using it. So
Oh, okay. Well, my phone was there and I was really happy about that.
that's really good for you.
I don't live in the hood, I guess. Well, kind of. Not enough to steal your shit.
Was it like a packed park or was there not that many people
No,
there?
it was a big park. There was quite a few people there, but it was pretty big. So
Yeah.
I was happy about that. And my pit is there's just not enough fucking hours in the day because I am exhausted, as I said at the intro, and I have my glasses on and I work overnights and going to the gym and doing the podcast, and there's just not enough hours.
You know what's
how am
crazy?
I supposed to watch Big Brother every day? And how am I supposed to, just relax? I have to often remind myself, just sit down. You don't have to get up and keep on running, but I do because there's not enough fucking time.
Completely agreed.
So,
you know what's crazy is there's people that are like, what? There's not enough hours in the day? What?
are you
Crazy.
serious?
Yeah, there's people that think like that.
You tell me what you do with your hours.
They don't do nothing
I don't have enough
that we do
time.
because they're not going to the gym doing the things. They're just relaxing.
Right.
You know what? You are the Four of Swords in tarot, which is your minor arcana.
Mm-hmm.
That means rest and relax. You need to just take a break.
And it's so hard for me to rest and
feel you.
relax. People have been telling me all my life, you need to chill out. You have to make sure you get enough sleep. And
Yeah. Everybody,
it's so
including tarot.
hard. Yeah. I don't get it. If that's my card, why don't I relax?
You have to be aware of it. It's just slow down a little bit, pump the brakes, do some self-care. And you just have to remember, oh yeah, I have to do that for myself because I'm always in a struggle.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Self-care.
Yep.
I was actually getting an IV the other day at Restore. There was this cute gay couple in there. I was like, hey, Mel, I gotta go because I was going to therapy afterwards.
Look at you, self-help day.
Fact that you just said that because this dude was like, well, where are you going? Are you going to work after this? It's his business in the first place. I've never met this guy
Right.
before. It's actually really weird. He was so sweet, but it was really weird that he was asking me these personal questions. But I was finishing up with my IV and I was already there a lot longer than I normally am because she was very busy. And he was like, where are you going? Work? And I'm like, no, I'm going to therapy. And he was like, oh, self-care day. And I'm like...
That's a gay thing to say.
That's hilarious because I wouldn't even think that therapy is self-care, but really is. It's just a must during my week.
Of self-care, I think of gym.
Mani-pedis, I think of
Yes, which I need.
spas. IV, I think is self-care for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think my haircut is self-care.
Yeah.
See, we do a lot of self-care. There's not enough hours for self-care.
Yeah. Anyways, we got off on a tangent.
About self-love and self-help.
Love
so
it.
Do that this week. But what's been going on? Was any of this therapy, this self-help day, was it your peak?
Well, If you guys heard the last podcast, then you guys heard that I got divorced and it's final. So when I went to therapy, she just sat with me and like just asked me these questions. It was definitely needed. Something weird though is I haven't cried since it was final. I don't even know if this is my peak or pit, but I feel like I grieved the relationship for so long that I don't feel like I'm holding back not crying because I need to, or that like I don't want to, but I need to. I really feel like I've just been on this healing journey for so long from that relationship that I didn't even cry.
Are you going to cry? Do you need to cry?
I teared up a little bit at my therapist's office, but I would cry if I needed to. I for real would. When I have a good cry, it makes me feel better, and I'm so fine with that. But I'm not doing that. And I'm like, oh shit. You know, the healing journey is always going to be a thing for sure, my whole life. But it gets easier with time because you learn more tools that you can utilize during the day, depending on your situation and what you're going through and your trauma and your responses.
I'm happy to hear that you're doing well.
It was good, yeah. It was good. My peak is that it was my birthday yesterday.
Hey,
this last
happy
weekend.
Birthday.
Thanks. And I had a really fun weekend. It was 420 on Saturday.
Right, a day after 420.
Yeah, party into a party is what I've always said.
The best weekend ever.
Yeah, it's fun. So I went to a dope show. It's called The Dope Show. It's a comedy show.
Okay.
On Saturday night, I was invited by Zaz Cannabis and Wellness. Ooh. And if you don't know, I'm going to Mexico with them in about 4 weeks. It's the retreat that I'm going to. So if you want to come along, there's like maybe a spot left, maybe.
One spot.
And it's just going to be a week of relaxation and connecting with like-minded people that are super fun. And it's going to be chill and relax. And we're going to be by the beach. So if you want to go, DM me at that Dre is on Instagram. Anyhow, the people who I'm going with, who are setting that whole thing up, invite me to the dope show because they're dope and I'm dope and we like dope. Not dope. We like weed dope.
Okay,
Not, yeah. It was super fun. And then on my birthday, I just hung out with some of my best friends and we had dinner. We gambled a little bit. That is it.
Well, until next week.
All right.
What time is it?
Time for Ask Alex.
Oh.
What's the question this week, Bennett?
The question is, could you be friends with an ex, or are they an ex for a reason?
Okay, so I feel like if you're friends with an ex, you still like them. It just causes problems. Think about this. You guys break up, you guys are fine. You guys realize that you're better off as friends. And then you guys get into new relationships. That typically is going to cause problems in the relationship if you're still friends with your ex. Also, it depends on how are you friends with your ex. Are you hanging out with them? Are you texting them? Are you talking to them on the phone? Are you FaceTiming them? Where's the line?
So we're not talking about like coexisting, like we're in the same circles, we still hang out with the same friends.
Yeah.
Or does that count as well?
Can you be friends with an ex? If I say that you're my friend to hang out with you, that's an acquaintance at that point. So should you be friends with an ex? My opinion. I just think it's disrespectful if you're in like a new relationship for that person.
Yeah.
So I just think it's messy. There's too many people to be friends with. Why are you friends with an ex? And why are you bringing that into a new relationship?
Well, maybe you were in the relationship and realized, hey, we're better off as friends. Have you ever heard that before?
Yeah.
People have told me like, hey,
totally.
Maybe you guys would be better off as friends. It is a thing.
Yeah.
It's doable if
that's true.
The two are like adults, you know?
And yeah, but then that person like that's new in the relationship is gonna probably feel some sort of way. Most people will, right?
Yeah,
like,
most people will, but should you? If they're like, no, that's my ex, we've already tried, it's not gonna happen, just a friend.
But okay, so say they hang out, would you be okay with that?
No, I wouldn't be okay, but I feel like
friends hang out.
I feel like in a healthy relationship, there shouldn't be space for jealousy in that manner. So like in a healthy, fully developed, perfect relationship, yes, but
no.
I'm crazy. So
no, I just feel like there's no reason for it. There's too many people out there to be friends with.
One time I told my ex that he could hang out with his ex when we were together. And they were like, yeah, my ex is in town. Like we're just friends. We want to catch up. And I thought like, oh, well, thank you for letting me know. I guess we're at this stage in our relationship where, you know, we could just be cool with this.
You're a better man than me.
Oh, I will not be that better man anymore because I got played.
Yeah, exactly. Friends.
Yeah, friends. Actually, no, you cannot be friends with your ex, especially if you're with me. So fuck that. No.
I just think it just gets messy when you bring an ex in, and I just don't feel like that's respectful for the new relationships.
And you really can't start a new thing with the old thing around. Yeah. So what do you think? Hit us up at ResilientAF3. Let us know.
Yeah, can you be friends with an ex? Like, should you be?
Yes, and send us spicy questions. If you have any questions for Alex, nothing is off What do they say?
Nothing's off the table.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I'm going to answer it. So, all right, now it's time for the resilient guest.
Hey.
All right, welcome to the podcast, Jess. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you guys.
Yeah, so this week Jess is joining us and she's going to be talking about adult trauma, past relationships that were toxic, depression, anxiety, CPTSD, amongst other things. And she is ready to talk about her story. So I'm just going to hand over the mic to her. Again, thank you for being here, Jess. This is really courageous of you.
Welcome to the
Yes,
podcast.
Thank you so much. I really am happy to be here. So a little bit about myself. I'm a single mom to an amazing teenage son. Things for us have not always been easy. Going back, I had him in 2008. I was in a relationship with his father at the time. Things were not the greatest with his father, but I was very committed to trying to make things work with him. It was like a roller coaster.
Okay, and how old were you when you had him?
I was 27 when I had my son. So there was a lot going on in both of our lives. Things kind of happened really quickly for us. But, when I found out I was pregnant, I was excited. I mean, I was terrified, which I think is probably a normal feeling for women when they find out they're pregnant. But when I had my son, I started to feel miserable, which is not, they make it seem like you're not supposed to feel like that when you have a baby. Everything is supposed to be sunshine and rainbows and flowers and birds chirping and all of that. And I didn't feel that way at all. I was depressed. I was anxious.
So you had postpartum depression?
Yes, I did get diagnosed with postpartum depression. I went to the doctor because I recognized the signs and I was like, I need help. I need to talk to somebody.
Good.
So I did go to the doctor. I was prescribed antidepressants and like anti-anxiety medication, which I took. It helped. And I was the type of person, I didn't like to be on medication. So that was difficult for me because I didn't want to have to depend on something else to make me feel better. But I did because it's what I needed to do at the time. And I was off and on those medications for years. And throughout the course of that time frame, I was also diagnosed with an eating disorder. The medication.
What kind of eating disorder?
Bulimia. So I was binging and purging.
Yeah.
Could I ask what medications they were? Are there any?
I was on a bunch of them. I've been on Zoloft. I've been on Prozac. I've been on olanzapine. I've been on Xanax. I've been so many of them that
Okay.
Did you feel better? Like, was there ones that worked better?
There were ones that worked better for me. The problem with a lot of them was you gain weight when you're on them. And that was a struggle for me because I had the eating disorder. So it was a constant battle of do I want to feel better and be miserable with how I look? Or do I want to be okay with how I look and be depressed?
Right.
So it was that constant back and forth of, let me try. Maybe I don't need them. And I would get off them for a little bit. And then it was like, nope, I need them.
Wow. Okay. So what happened next?
So I was diagnosed with the eating disorder and my doctor actually wanted to send me to a hospital for treatment. And I was like, I can't do that. At the time, my son's father wasn't around. He was kind of in and out of our lives. So I was like, I can't go to a hospital. I'm a single mom. I can't leave my son. I can't do that. So I was connected with a nutritionist and eating disorder specialist that I saw, and I saw her for about 10 years. I just recently actually stopped seeing her, and it was only because she left the practice, and I was completely devastated. I was like, what do you mean she's gone? Well, I can't do this without her.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a shock because she left abruptly. I had an appointment scheduled with her and everything. And then all of a sudden they were like, sorry, she's not here anymore. And I was like, wait, what?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
How do you cope with that?
Well, thankfully I have a regular therapist who I've been seeing for probably 4 years now, and she's amazing. I don't struggle as badly with the eating disorder now as I did, but I was used to having her around. She was part of, she was part of my life. She was there for a long time. So my therapist is amazing. I love her to death. I look forward to my therapy appointments with her. She's amazing. So thankfully I have her. And then, I have some people kind of frown upon the Facebook groups, but I have connected with women on Facebook through communities that are specific for, eating disorders and stuff like that. So that's always helpful.
Okay, yeah, because we had this girl, Livia, on not that long ago who also has a story about an eating disorder. And she's actually one of my good friends. And I was thinking about her a lot when you're talking about that and just things that she told me. And I was like wondering if, I could link you guys up because she's amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I would love that. I mean, I love connecting with people who have similar experiences because especially something like that, because it's taboo. People don't talk about those things because there's so many like misconceptions and stigmas and judgments around them. So, I mean, I love connecting with people who, have gone through that or even who are going through it because it's so important to have support, especially from people who understand.
Right.
What happened after the prescriptions?
So again, I was off and on the medications for a long time. Around, I want to say it was like 2019, I had gained a lot of weight and I wasn't happy. So I had talked to my doctor and I was like, listen, I think I want to try to get off this medication. And the doctor agreed that we could try. So at the time I was on 2 medications. One of them was an antidepressant and one of them was specifically for anxiety. So we stopped the antidepressant first and I did okay. I think with that one, he weaned me off because I was on a little bit higher of a dose. So we did that and I did okay. And I was like, this is good. Like I can do this, this is good. So then it's crazy because the anti-anxiety medication that I was on, I found out after the fact, it was actually a medication for mood disorders, which I didn't have. And that medication made me miserable. Like I was miserable on that point.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Wow.
That was the olanzapine. And it was miserable. I was like eating in my sleep too, which again, didn't help the eating disorder. Like I would wake up in the morning and the cabinets would be open and I was like, I was so tired all the time. It was horrible. It was really horrible.
It just seems like they throw these cocktails together and they're like, here, take this and like, we'll make the money.
Yeah. Which again is one of the reasons why I was like, I don't really want to take this anymore. Like, I was in a better place where I was kind of feeling better. Things were, on the up and up. So I was like, let's try this. So that medication, my doctor had said, because I was on such a low dose that I could just stop that medication. And that was not good. When I tell you, I felt like I was dying for like weeks. It was horrible.
Did you tell your doctor?
I did. And he was just like, it'll pass. It's going to go away. And I was like, well, how long? Because I'm like, this is almost worse than what I was feeling.
What in the world?
It was worse.
Detoxing from it? Damn.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was really, and he had said because I was on like the lowest dose, but I'm like, couldn't I have done like every other day and like, or every 3 days, something something.
Like
it was
cold turkey.
Crazy.
Overnight.
That is nuts. Actually, that little amount like had that effect on you, Whoa.
Yeah.
So
just think about like other people and, so many people are dosed up.
So you found a nutritionist, you said? And you're working with a nutritionist? Yep. Okay. So that was like right around that time, right?
That was, I was with her from probably 2014 till like last year. So almost 10 years that her and I worked together.
Okay. So I want you to talk about maybe one of your past relationships. I know that some stuff went on and that is what caused a lot of trauma for you.
Yes. So my son's father, I know that the word narcissist is very overused and I'm obviously not a medical professional, so I can't diagnose anybody.
But when like it adds up, the math is mathin'.
Yeah, exactly.
I got you.
You fit.
Yeah, whatever you want to say, whatever the analogy is. Yeah. If they were to be a narcissist.
Yeah. Narcissistic tendencies, maybe we can say it that way. So he struggled with alcohol issues and stuff like that. So things were not great at this point with him and I. And this was probably around 2020, 2021, that time frame. We had started going to counseling together. And that's actually how I met my current therapist. We were going together because we recognized that things weren't good in our relationship. And we had been together for a long time. We had kids together. I thought we both wanted to make things work. Apparently that was not the case because I was the only one who was truly invested in trying to make things work.
Yeah, it sounds similar.
Yeah, it was a toxic relationship. Like looking back now, I can see it was unhealthy, his coping mechanisms, and not that I'm perfect in how I cope either, but like very unhealthy, So I kind of had suspicions that he was seeing somebody else, which of course he denied. But one day I got confirmation, which it was a blessing in disguise because
Yes.
that was it for me. When I finally saw that, I was like, now I can leave. This is my out.
How did you find out?
So it's kind of a funny story. We were FaceTiming on his cell phone with one of his relatives, and I was talking to the relative. I gave the phone to my son so he could talk to the relative, and then she hung up, and my son handed the phone back to me. And when he handed me the phone, there was a text message on the screen. Like, I didn't touch anything. I didn't look for anything. It was right there, and it was between him and another girl. And I was like, oh, cute. So
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I went in the
That was your
room.
out. Yeah.
Like, I wasn't even mad. I was just kind of like, thank you, universe,
Yeah.
for that. So, I gave him his phone back, and I was just like, that's real cute. And of course, he turned it around on me because, why are you snooping in my phone? And I'm like, it slapped me in my face, basically. Like, I wasn't looking for anything. It was right there.
Yeah.
So we didn't speak to each other the whole rest of that night. The next morning I got up, I went to work, and I texted him. At the time we lived in an apartment, and I texted him and I said, I want the keys to the apartment and I want you gone. And I was like, and if you don't leave, I'm letting the apartment people know that I need to change the locks, because I'm like, I don't want you here anymore. I'm done. And he actually left, which I was really surprised by. I came home from work that night and the keys were on the coffee table. And
Good.
that, I think, was the turning point for me, because I had spent so much of my time in that relationship trying to fix things, trying to fix him, trying to make sure he was happy and that things were good in that area. And I wasn't focused on myself and like what made me happy and what I wanted to do.
I feel like you wouldn't even know how if you were still with him. If you, because it's all about evolving, and that time I guess from my experience, it had to happen. Everything is with divine timing, and your guides are guiding you, and they're, the universe has your back, and they will push people out of your life if they need to be out of your life.
And like, if you choose to keep those people in your life, you will literally experience the same thing over and over and over again, especially if you're not taking care of yourself. And I just say that from experience. I could third that too, It's
just really hard to see while you're still in the relationship. You have to have that separation really to fully understand how to even heal by yourself.
And how to love and take care of yourself, and like
as a functioning adult, or to become a functioning adult for the first time in your life.
Right. Yeah.
Especially if the person you're attached to isn't there, if they're not there, you definitely have to make that move and that evolution.
I know I didn't have some realizations about one of my past relationships until I was about a week out, and I gave the benefit of the doubt over and over and over. And then I just couldn't deny it anymore, So separation is needed in a lot of situations. So if you're in a tough situation, just know you can do it. And like, you are strong enough. Yeah. You can do it. You're resilient. Anyhow, carry on.
Absolutely. So, I mean, it's funny too, because in that situation, I think a lot of the people that were close to me in my life didn't think that I was going to stick with that decision, but I did. And I mean, it was hard because, again, being a single parent is hard. Paying all the bills is hard. Doing all the things, it's hard. But it's so worth it, because I'm so much happier. I'm in such a better place now than I was then. And there's still struggles, like things, still come in and out, because that's life. I mean, that's what happens. But therapy helps with all of that. I have an amazing support system around me, and I really I focus on myself now and put myself first.
So do you have your son full time?
Yes.
Okay. And you don't have any connection with his father right now at all?
We haven't seen his father in over a year at this point now. He relocated, so he's not in the area anymore.
Gotcha.
And we haven't seen him, which it's sad in the sense that, like, I wish my son could have a relationship with his dad, but I can't force that. And it's, at this point, it kind of it is what it is. So, yeah.
Well, your son knows who's there for him, And yes.
So how long were you with him for? Like,
almost
having that
13 years.
13 years. How many times in those 13 years did you think, like, maybe I should leave this situation? Or maybe you even put in the footsteps and like took the steps to do so, but then like something happened and then like, boom, you're right back in it.
Probably too many times to count, actually. And, I would maybe have conversations or drop hints, and things would change for a little bit because, he would make me think he didn't want that to happen, but then, you know, they would go right back to how they were before. And then here I am miserable again. And, you know, right back at the beginning.
Someone.
That takes so much courage to do as a single mom, to like actually take that step and actually do it. It takes so much courage. So good job for you for doing that, because that is putting you first. You know, you have to be at your best to be there for your son, you know?
Yes. So there was also, I got pregnant, and trigger warning here because we're going to talk about abortion right now. I really wanted that baby. I wanted another child. I was ready to have another child, but he didn't want me to have the baby, and I didn't want to be a single mom.
Wait, who's he?
My son's father.
They were together up until
the time.
So I
backtracked.
Okay, no, I did. I backtracked too.
So yeah, because you guys were together up until like what, a couple of years ago, or what? When?
It'll be 4 years in June.
Okay, so tell me about that experience, because I've heard stories of women be like, I didn't think it'd affect me, and I don't feel that way now. Like it affected them a lot, you know. Like, so tell me about that.
Yeah, and at the time he was living like 3 hours away. So essentially, we were still together, but like we weren't living together at the time. He was somewhere else, and I was home with our son. So essentially, I was a single mom even then because he wasn't really around. So I got pregnant, and I wanted that baby, but he was adamant that he didn't. So I was like, okay, I don't want to do this by myself. So I made the decision to have an abortion. And I didn't tell a lot of people. My best friend came with me to the doctor, and I thought I was okay. But when I got home that night, so they gave you, I did the pill, like the pill option. So they gave me pills in the office that I took. And then I went home, and I forget exactly the time frame, but I think it was like, there was a certain amount of time you had to wait to take the next set of pills.
Right.
And I, all of a sudden, like, the next thing I knew, I was in the hospital, and I don't remember much of what happened in between that time frame.
Did you like black out? Did you pass out? Like, who found you?
Well, I apparently called 911, which I don't remember doing.
Whoa.
What did you say? When you called them, what did you tell them?
I have no idea.
I know, but like, I was wondering if they told her.
I don't remember if they told me, but I do remember my parents told me after the fact that I said something to them, like, no, like I woke up and couldn't remember anything. And I thought like I fell and hit my head, which I didn't.
Okay. So did they come and get you in an ambulance?
Yeah.
Okay.
An ambulance came, and I actually was aware enough to tell them that my son was there, because apparently I woke him up and he rode in the ambulance to the hospital with us.
Oh, wow.
I called my parents, which again, they told me after the fact that I called them like 25 times from the ambulance to tell them I was on my way to the hospital. And they were like, Jessica, we know you called us. We're coming.
Oh, shit.
Like, I didn't remember. And I, even now saying that, I don't remember doing that. It's just
that's scary. So what happened?
So you wake up in the hospital and you're like, what's going on? Like, what?
Yeah,
where?
That is scary.
Yeah.
So I remember when my mom got to the hospital, and again, this is something that I think she told me after the fact. I mentioned something to them about the second set of pills that I was supposed to take. So it was at that point that she knew what those pills were for. So, but again, they didn't know why I was in the state that I was in. I had they did tests to see if I had like a stroke or like an aneurysm. Like they did a whole bunch and everything came back fine. So they sent me home the next day. But they were like, she shouldn't be alone. So we went out and stayed with my parents for probably, I think that whole weekend. And they referred me to a neurologist because again, they were like, did something happen in her brain? Like trying to figure out what happened. And what they ultimately ended up saying is that I basically had a nervous breakdown because of how I felt about that situation. I really wanted to have that baby, and having to do that was like my body's way of trying to forget that that's what was happening.
Whoa. It kind of reminds me of like dissociating. Whoa.
Yeah.
Did you end up taking the second set of pills?
Yeah.
Did they tell you? So they still don't know what happened? Like you don't know what happened. They don't know what happened.
No.
Just like a panic attack.
Just
maybe, who knows, something along those lines.
Yeah.
For real, your nervous system, girl, your nervous system.
Yeah.
Damn.
I know.
Okay.
It did a number on me. And I mean, I struggled with that decision for a long time. It wasn't until a couple years ago where I finally was like, yes, I did want that baby, but like that decision was the best decision that I could have made at the time.
It's almost like one of those things where you have to like live through it and you don't know why you're going through that. And then you look back and you're like, oh yeah, that's why, and you're older and wiser and you understand, but it takes a long time.
Where was he at the time?
He wasn't here. He lived in the city at the time. So he wasn't up here.
He didn't come and
if they were to be
that word,
he is to be a narcissist.
Yes.
That's something that they would do.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He didn't really have any feelings about that either. Like I was clearly traumatized by it. And he was just kind of like, whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that was hard too, because then essentially I was going through that by myself when I should have been going through it with someone.
So was that the only abortion that you had?
Oh, I actually had another one. It was a couple years before that, and that was with a different person. It was a completely different situation. That was just me.
And you were okay with that one? Like you didn't feel the same way? Okay.
I had a completely different scenario. Like that one, like I wasn't in a relationship with the guy. I knew that he had other kids that he didn't really take care of. Yeah. So I was like, I'm not about to have a baby with this guy when, so yeah. And that one, I mean, that it wasn't easy, but it wasn't like I had strong feelings about that one. I knew that one wasn't the one.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the one thing that I would say is that I know that some women have a lot of shame around that topic and talking about it. And I think it's really important to talk about it because that decision is not an easy decision. Even in that first situation where I didn't really want that baby, it still wasn't an easy decision to make. And I think it's important for everybody, men and women, to understand that. Like, that's not a decision that is made lightly.
Men and women. It wasn't until I've heard enough women's stories for me to really understand from a different perspective other than like what I feel like I would experience. Cause I'm like, damn, like I thought I would feel this way, but maybe I wouldn't. And they thought they would feel that, be okay. And they're not. Like, and I just have had a lot of aha moments when I am talking to friends or whoever I'm talking to. And I have a lot of like empathy and compassion towards women who go through abortions because they're not even expecting it. They don't even know what to experience. They don't even know what to expect. And to think about, because it's hard when you haven't experienced that and you've never done that before, even as a woman, but even a man, like we don't understand. So just to have more empathy and compassion towards people and women in these type of situations and be there for them, even if you don't want it.
Be there for them.
Even if you don't want it. Like,
And the other thing too, just real quick, is like, I never thought I would get an abortion either. So that's the thing too. Like, that's why when you hear people say, oh, I would never do that, you can't say that about any situation until you're in it.
That's
because
a good point.
You could think like, oh, I would handle it this way, or I would absolutely do this. And then you're in that position. It's completely different. So
you don't know until you know.
Yep.
Yeah. So something else too that happened, I had a really close friend of mine. We were friends through middle school, high school, and through our 20s. And she was one of my best friends. In 2016, she passed away. We had kind of lost touch. We had a little bit of a falling out. We lost touch. We had reconnected a little bit. And she texted me one day and was like, do you have a minute? I need to talk to you about something. And I'm like, sure. She called me and we were talking and she's like, I'm sick. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean you're sick? What do you mean? She's like, I'm in the hospital. She ended up having like a huge mass on her lung. And probably within 8 months of the time that we had that conversation, she passed away. She went into a hospice home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And seeing her go through that and like her outlook on life changing and like the things that she was grateful for and the things that she appreciated and what meant a lot to her, it really put in perspective what's important in life and, what people are struggling with and what I'm struggling with. And, she's a huge driving force in how I've transformed being such a like negative, angry, pessimistic person to seeing the light and the good in situations and just being grateful every day for just waking up, because she doesn't get to do that anymore. So
yeah, no, I love that you say that because a lot of people haven't seen or experienced that at all. And it is, when you see someone who's going through something like that and they just appreciate life on a whole new level. And if you show that you're grateful to the universe, it's going to pay you back tenfold. It's very easy. You know, it's your choice. If you want to wake up happy and stay in a good mood, you don't have to allow others to make you feel a certain way. Like, it's all up to you. Positive thoughts create positive outcomes.
Well, it is an unfortunate situation. I'm sorry for your loss. But on the way out, it seems like your best friend brought a message to you. You know, she was like an angel in that moment, you know, with her perspective on life. Like, just like, one last thing before I go, girl. Like, you know, these are the things that like you should, you know, take with you. And I think that's really a sweet way to look at it.
Yeah. And I mean, I talk about her a lot. I know I hear people complain all the time about their birthdays and they're like, oh, I'm another year older. And I'm like, let me just remind you guys that I have to celebrate her birthday in the cemetery. And they're like, wow, Jessica, that's morbid. And I'm like, but it's true.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't get to celebrate any more birthdays. You're lucky that you're seeing another birthday. Every single day that you wake up, every single birthday that you get to celebrate, you are lucky. You are blessed for seeing that.
100%.
Funny you're saying that, because you heard the birthday episode.
Yeah. So this is
happy birthday.
Well, thank you. And I always actually do look forward to my birthday. I really do. I always have a good look. I don't really care. I mean, I'm doing good for almost 37, I feel like. So it is what it is. Lots of wisdom and knowledge now. I wouldn't go back to my 20s. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't go back either.
No, thank you.
You couldn't pay me enough to go back. I'm good. I don't need to do that again.
Yeah. I mean, 30s have been up and down, but they're way better than I'm on my way up.
Yeah.
So.
I mean,
birthdays are fun. Birthdays are good.
I go to my 20s.
They are.
For a weekend.
For a weekend.
Just for one more.
So, okay. Yeah. So what is your friend's name?
Her name is Lisa.
Rest in peace, Lisa. Oh, when's her birthday?
May 9th.
When's your birthday?
May 27th.
Oh shit. Same birthday month.
What does your sign?
Gemini?
He's a Taurus. I'm a Gemini.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love Geminis. They're fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that, because most people hate Geminis. They're like, oh, you're a Gemini, I don't want to talk to you.
Right.
Well, they're like, the thing, Geminis are crazy. They do have two like totally different sides. But
yes, we do.
Like, I like the crazy. So I'm like, I love Gemini. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I actually get along with Gems too. So
but
some of them can be the spawn of you know who. They have good hearts. But yeah, Tauruses are the best, by the way. Like Lisa, you know. Yeah.
You know what's funny? I like women who are Tauruses, but men who are Tauruses, my son's father is a Taurus, and I'm like, nope.
I don't hardly ever eat. Well, meat men Tauruses or really women Tauruses. It's very few and far in between.
I don't know any men Taurus in my life, though. I couldn't tell you one. So maybe it's a good thing.
I was going to say that's probably a good thing, at least from my experience. So
actually, I went on a date recently with this person, but he's a Taurus.
That's funny.
And so I don't know how I like that. It was weird. But
dating yourself.
I mean, it was like just for fun anyways. Like, it was somebody who I was like, I would never be with him. I'm just like, just for fun. He doesn't need to know that. Whatever. Maybe he will right now, but I haven't hung out with him since. And I don't talk to him. But yeah. So to wrap things up, at the end of each resilient segment, we ask what resilient means to you. So Jess, what does resilient mean to you?
Resilient to me means pushing through even on your hardest day and not giving up. Sometimes it's easier than, some days it's easier than others, but I really think it's about not giving up, because there's a lot of things that happened to me where I could have given up. I could have just thrown in the towel and been like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. And I'd be lying if I said I never had those thoughts, but I pushed through. I didn't give up. I got up every day, even though maybe some days I didn't want to get up. And I'm a better person now because of all of that.
Sounds like just believe in yourself and know that you can do it. So yeah, that was an excellent definition. Thank you. Where can we find you on social media?
So my personal Instagram is hot_mess_Jess_1981.
Okay.
And then can I share my podcast Instagram?
Absolutely. Yes.
So that is unapologetically_overcoming.
Yes, go check her out.
All right, Jess. Well, thank you so much. And
thank you so
talk
much.
To you soon.
And where are you? Are you in Washington? Are you?
No, St. Louis.
No, I'm in New York.
New York?
New York?
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. That's right.
Wait,
oh my gosh.
New York. What part?
Like upstate New York, so not the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have brothers that live in Albany.
I'm like a half an hour from Albany. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he grew up on the East Coast.
Yeah, I'm from Providence, Rhode Island. Yeah.
Wait, were
I
you
was
born there?
I was born in Albany. I lived there till I was like 5. Then we moved to the country and I hated it. It was horrible.
Yeah, I spent summers in Albany when I was a kid. Yeah.
Fun.
Mhm.
Well,
I still have
next,
family there.
if we ever get to New York,
Yeah, if we ever get to New York, we'll have to hang out. Or if you ever come
Yes,
to
oh my God,
Washington.
I would love that.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. And I just want to do something where like we have so many awesome guests. If we could like do a celebration or something at some point, where,
Vegas?
like we
Yeah,
bring everyone
that would be so
together.
cool.
Yeah,
That would be
that'd
so fun.
But we'll keep
holy
you
shit, we
updated.
should do that. That's a great idea. All right. Well, love you, girl. Thank you again, Jess. That was amazing.
Yes.
And if you want to be a guest, hit us up at ResilientAF3 on Instagram. I would actually really appreciate it if you would email us.
Yes.
It's resilientaf3@gmail.com. Hit us up, tell us your story, and I'll hit you back and we'll figure out a time, okay?
Yeah, and we do them over Zoom. So if you're not in the area could be in yours.
All right, now it's time for a new game.
Ooh, what's this game called?
Well, you know, me, I come halfway prepared most of the time. I didn't name it, but it has something to do with school, so maybe we can name it right now.
School.
You have to answer questions from grades 1 through 12.
Okay. Are you smarter than an American student going through training
In high
to
s-
work
yes.
for 40 hours a week for the rest of their lives?
There you go. Back to school for Bennett.
Oh, back to school. I wish I had an apple.
There's one in the fridge if you want.
No, I don't really want it that bad.
Okay, so we have 12 questions.
Okay.
It goes like this. I'm going to ask you these questions
Yep.
starting from first grade. They're going to be the grades questions. Like
Okay.
something you learn in first grade is going to be that question. Same thing for second, third, and so on. And
She said, I'm going to ask you questions.
do your best, boo-boo. Okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Am I timed?
No.
Okay.
First grade.
Okay.
What is a baby cow called?
A baby cow is called a calf. Yes.
Good job. Second grade. There are 13 stripes on the American flag. How many stars are there?
There are 50 stars.
Good job. Third grade. What is it called when plants make their own food using sunlight?
I think it's called photosynthesis.
Is that your final answer?
Photosynthesis.
Say it again.
I can't even say it. Photosynthesis.
Yes, ding.
Yes, when
ding,
they
ding,
take the
ding.
sun and
they
turn
make
it
the
into
food.
food.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, fourth grade. You're on a roll, Bennett. What is a plural form of the word deer?
That's a trick question. I feel like the plural is deer.
Yes. Good
Woo-hoo!
job, Bennett.
I'm like, it's a dire? No, it's a dire
It's a doe?
situation.
It's a hoe? Yeah.
Oh, it's a doe, a hoe.
All right, fifth grade.
I feel like they're going to get so hard. Like, what
Ooh.
the fuck?
I kind of tried to make them easy. Okay.
Okay.
Because I could have made them real hard. The ones that I knew for sure you would have known. I'm like, well, I can't do that. That's
Like
not
I
fair.
do trivia?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so what is the process of a caterpillar turning into a butterfly called?
Hold on. Let me think about it. Again, the cocoon. They go from pupa into the cocoon. Shit. Fuck.
Got any guesses?
I know it. I just can't find the word. I know they go from larva to pupa to caterpillar to
4,
thing.
3, 2.
Evolution.
No.
I forgot. What is it?
Metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis, like those fucking books. You remember those
Yes.
books when we were growing up and they were so
Absolutely.
fucking scary with
Yeah.
like the kid that turns into a rhino, and it was actually
Yes.
very disturbing. Metamorphosis.
Sixth grade question. Aside from a new and full moon, name a moon phase.
Half moon, crescent moon.
A half moon is incorrect.
Oh shit. Is a crescent good?
It is, but there's something before it. So there's 2 crescents.
Quarter
Because-
crescent.
No. First quarter, waxing crescent, new moon, waning crescent. Third quarter, waning gibbous, full moon, waxing gibbous. Those are the moon
A
phases.
6th grader knows this.
They learn it.
Where's Jax? Isn't he in 6th grade?
So far you've gotten,
4 out of 6.
yes. So 7th grade question. What is considered the standard of a healthy blood pressure limit?
What the fuck?
You know when they take your blood pressure?
Yes.
What is it? What's the good one?
Mine is high.
Well, what's a normal one?
They want it to be 108.
No. It's 120 over 80.
120?
Over 80.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah. So I'm
That's
normal. I'm 120.
healthy. All right, 8th grade question. In baseball, how many players are playing defense on the field at once?
Defense. 7 or 8. Fuck. I played baseball.
9.
Where? Outfield, the bases,
Double checked
pitcher.
it. Yeah, the
Okay.
catcher.
Okay. I didn't think of him.
Shoot.
Okay.
Okay. 9th grade question. The acronym WHO stands for what?
The World Health Organization.
Woohoo!
Yes, I'm
Yes.
back, baby.
You got that. 9th grade question. All right, on to 10th. What is the most popular form of government today?
It's not the one that like controls everything. It's the other one, but I don't know the words for either. So,
So no guesses?
no.
Okay. It's
I'd rather just not say anything than say something
right.
ridiculous.
I was like waiting for you to say something like Republican.
No, absolutely. Liberal.
Democracy.
Democracy. Fuck yeah.
11th grade question. What is it called when the population of a country is counted in order to record information such as age, sex, and occupation?
The census.
Yes.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes, I know that.
12th grade question. Bennett's back to school.
Woo!
When was the U.S. hit by Hurricane Katrina?
In 2008.
You were so sure.
2007, 2005.
5.
Yes, 2005.
My graduation year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you did better than I thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I got what, 8 out of 12?
I wasn't counting.
I'm smarter than some of the graders.
Tell us what you thought of that game and how did
Yeah.
you do? Hit us up at ResilientAF3 on Instagram, on Twitter, on the YouTubes.
YouTube, we're everywhere.
On the OnlyFans? No,
we
we're
even
not on
have a
OnlyFans.
TikTok. I see
We
that.
do. Oh, we do have a TikTok. I forget about TikTok because I'm
forget
not
about the
the
TikTok.
TikTok
Me
generation,
neither.
and
Me
I
neither.
try, but it's really hard. And why?
But we're there.
We're there. So if you're there, then we'll be there. That's it. We hope you have a really amazing week.
I hope I get some sleep this week, and I hope you do too. Have a good one.
Bye.